Hello and welcome back to the North America Open Division. My name is Pulsable, here with LaFon. We've got another match coming at you. It's going to be Revive Esports versus It Worked in Quick Play.
And, well, we shall remain to see if what worked in Quick Play works here. So, yeah, I'm excited. Both these teams about even record. 3-2 versus a 2-2 for Revive. And coming through, this should be very curious as Goats is the favorite. If we looked at it worked in Quick Play, Goats is their favorite team comp. And their least favorite team comp is also Goats. So I'm not sure how that one works out, but they actually, here's the fun fact: they all go to the same university, the same college, University of Santa Cruz. So UC Santa Cruz, yeah.
Well, hopefully they got a lot of synergy going then, right? You know each other in real life. You're real friends. You know each other's ins and outs. Get that synergy rolling on in here as we head over on to Lijiang Tower.
Map number 1, it's gonna be this map is so curious, right? We've seen it played so frequently. We know kind of what we could expect to see, and I think here though, between these two teams, the reaction is not going to be what are we going to see that's new, but how are they going to reintegrate some of these ideas, especially because Revive prefers to run the dive comp. At least their favorite composition is dive, and so DPS is certainly not out of the question here.
Well, and dive is something that's been kind of an endangered species when it comes to Overwatch, right? Haven't really seen true 2-2 dive outside of cyber dive or the cyber ninja dive rather in a long time, and I'm not sure cyber ninja is the way to go right now.
Well, certainly if you don't get the if you don't get that one-shot combo, right? If you don't get the EMP blade, then it kind of becomes you're playing around ultimates, and if those ultimates don't find value, then the composition itself has no value. So, yeah, no, I agree with you. that dive itself is not, in and of itself, is not fantastic right now, but it comes down to whether they can execute on, the rotations and such. But at least initially, we're gonna see some 3-3 versus 3-3.
You say that?
Well, 4 actually for
yeah.
No, Era's gonna switch.
Nope. Baited. We don't get quad tank with the wrecking ball today, folks. It is gonna be that Goats versus Goats combination, so it's gonna come down to resources. Nice rotation here from Revive. They've managed to claim the point first. They have to actually make this work. A lot of damage coming down onto both main tanks. Bulber's the first one down, though. Overextended by just a little bit. Now the main tanks are just bashing straight at each other. Already a shatter for Knuckle as he just destroys Revive Esports. Doesn't manage to connect onto the kills, however. And the kills are now going the other direction. The target focus is a little all over the place, but Revive Esports getting a little bit better end of the deal right now.
Anake just not getting the Matrix up in time, and the fire strikes from Knuckle were actually so valuable that he was able to get Shatter well before first fight was over. I mean, his team is unable to turn it into a victory in terms of fight win, but really, really strong Reinhardt play there. Just now, if the team had followed up in damage, we would have been having a different tale. We've been praising how good of a Reinhardt he is instead of talking about how he's re-entering here on the high ground. But Shadow SM now building up to a shatter of his own, and the rally will be committed as Error walks forward with his team.
Yeah, getting aggressive, trying to force Knuckle out. Gets so much damage, is down, and that's a free shatter for Shadow SM. Easy cleanup for the defending team.
Anke does get D-mech, but she will, kill the Zen here, and it will not at the end even matter as a full reset comes through for It Worked in Quick Play, and Revive Esports put themselves in a pretty decent situation here.
They certainly do. They've still got a good amount of ults as well. Ananke is out of her mech right now. She's gonna have it back in plenty of time for this push to come on in. Doesn't quite have the bomb as of yet. Shadow SM going to be the first one down, and the grab is eaten out from Danem. Oh no, that's so many things you didn't want to happen, Revive Esports. Now it's just backpedaling for the team in blue as It Worked in Quick Play roll over them.
I mean, a Graviton Surge being eaten and you don't have anything to really follow up means that you're going. Yeah, you're right. It's going to be a reset here, and they do get to that 75% mark though, right? They get to a pretty decent point control percentage. Yeah, exactly. Very close to that one fight territory. And even though the Graviton Surge gets wasted, they have an opportunity now if to play around the fact that Cut It Short if you could shut down this Graviton, you put yourself in a pretty decent position.
They're looking to shut down Nako right
early
now.
trance.
Shadow goes straight into a shield. It is an early trance, but it's counteracted the other direction as well. Cut Short could get a free grab now, and there it is. No support ultimates to keep Revive alive, and they're going to be forced out of that nice and quick.
Aswell actually gets killed in the middle of the beat animation, so not only do they not have support ultimates,
Ouch.
they lose their support ultimate, and that's going to be a reset again for Revive, but they lose that one pretty cleanly, only giving up about 40%. They will get a recontest here, and the only thing they're walking into realistically is the Rally and Knuckles Earth Shatter. He's been building these incredibly quickly up against the team in blue.
Revive going for an outside rotation. They don't want to fight It Worked in Quick Play straight up. They want to get to the point and try and get It Worked in Quick Play into an awkward position. Shadow goes straight into a shield from Knuckle, and he's taking a decent amount of damage. Rally out for Revive Esports means rather easy to live. Oh, now Revive is trying to chuck in everything, but they've lost their Reinhardt, and the Transcendence is there on the other side. It Worked in Quick Play, remaining dominant and keeping themselves alive. They've matched the percentage Revive had now, and they're looking to get this full cap.
I mean, they're getting a couple of kills here now, but there was still a moment where it looked like Revive could turn this back, but with the kills to Dan M, they're going to have to reset now, and we are in last fight territory. 90%, you know, Revive is not going to get a clean contest here. They're going to have to come in staggered and one by one just to get the overtime meter running.
Yeah, Shadow SM is going to be able to touch that point, so the overtime is triggered here. Revive have to make good use of their tools. They have to push with this Transcendence aggressively. You have to connect onto a kill. The Discord's not even on Knuckle, and the bomb overhead means that John Doe rather, is going to easily win this one out for Revive Esports. Good effort, but it just wasn't enough.
Round one complete, and yeah, that comes down to ult economy, right? Like, if you don't... Losing that Graviton Surge put them so far behind, they were never able to really catch up, and well played by Worked in Quick Play to understand how to grab and get those Graviton Surges off and, you know, get the follow-through kills on them.
Yeah, solid ult economy coming out from that team. Now they're going to have to keep that going here as we head into Control Center. This round of Lijiang, not quite as variable as the other two, right? We can fully expect to see the Reinhardt 3-3 here. Maybe with a Mei, but doesn't seem like that's the flavor of the... Oh, no, Error is hovering over that Mei, so we might get that Mei goats.
Yeah, I was going to mention that you can kind of see the... yeah, we're going to see an icon on the Zarya here, too, so that there's no Diva Matrix defense here. Mei with a Mei wall can really make Orion's day hell, and with the freeze can sort of slow down the tank composition, so... It's a viable composition, but you're giving it at the cost of getting free fire strikes for Knuckle.
And that Mei wall was very far back, so it didn't manage to split anyone. Despite that, Knuckle takes too much damage in the front line and does go down. John Doe will be meeting him in the grave, and It Worked in Quick Play. Just gonna back up real quick.
No, I mean the Mei. That's what it does if you get sectioned off, and I don't think Knuckle was able to really back out, so he just went down, and you know, Shadow SM, you know, builds the Earth Shatter off of it, so It Worked in Quick Play, again working into an ult disadvantage. That wall, very good.
Yeah, Knuckle should die here. Yep, there it is. And now, It Worked in Quick Play. They're going to try and make something of this, but an easy shatter for free from Shadow SM cleans them on up.
That bought time for the Transcendence to come online, but again, the Earth Shatter, I don't necessarily think you need it. You could have cleaned up without it, right? But you get the Ryan killed with the wall, and then you just sort of have to commit the Shatter just to get the full cleanup. Oh, that's a really good early pick. Yeah, It Worked in Quick Play. Going to have to reset here.
Bob Will was just a little too far forward, and it doesn't seem like It Worked in Quick Play are actually going for the No, they are. Okay, they're going to wait. They're going to wait. I thought they were just going to charge through the right side rotation there, but no, they're going to wait for the Zen to come back.
Yeah, you need the Discord Orb, right? That's where most of your damage comes from in this composition, and It Worked in Quick Play, playing a very passive style. Another good Mei wall, and the Reinhardt should be dead again.
Again, the target focus on that Reinhardt is so good. A grab coming out to ensure the follow-through. Pretty convinced that that one could have been saved for later, but it means that Revive went out the fight handedly.
It did indeed, and now, you know, you need to come to the realization that you don't have anything to really play against the Mei Blizzard, because you only have one support ultimate, and, you know, Transcendence can't be everywhere at once, so this could be another. There's that Transcendence that blocks the wall, and there's the May Blizzard.
Oh, the May Blizzard right after John Doe is demech means it's free, and the cleanup is easy. Revive Esports just looking so practiced on this early hold here. I'm not sure anyone can touch.
Nope, no one can touch. 95% and counting. The Earth Shatter is a formality.
Shatter is a formality straight into a wall. So, cute play there. Doesn't net anything, but Revive Esports get the point regardless, and they do send us on over to Gardens. And
here's where shenanigans can come through, right? You can kind of see the Pharah, you can kind of see the DPS play, you can still see 3-3, though you often see the Winston as opposed to the Reinhardt, right? So yeah, a ton gets played here, and I don't know if Era's hovering over this. I'm not sure if he's gonna actually actively go for it.
I'm not convinced as of yet. I don't believe in anything until the spawn doors open, really. But it's certainly a possibility here. And it kind of makes sense, right? On that basic 3-3 matchup, you did lose out, right? Revive Esports, you did lose that one out. So it will be the Widow Pharah. This is actually a very good combination of DPS characters that we've seen. It applies a lot of long-range pressure, and it's hard for a GOATS composition, especially the Rhine GOATS, to pin anything down.
Yeah, and I mean, this composition kind of worked in early days of Overwatch. You know, rocket, get a direct rocket on someone, and then tell the Widow, or vice versa. So, you can definitely still use that to great effect here. And again, you expect there to be a couple of final blows coming. The tank composition holding out on point.
Yeah, so much poke damage and not enough resources for it worked in quick play. They just got a little bit too antsy, pushed straight into the spam, and got cleaned up. So Revive Esports gonna be grabbing this first cap.
And now, yeah, not only Revive gonna get the first cap, but they get the first real ultimate economy. And the Transcendence is online. You're gonna have the Barrage very soon, and Revive Esports certainly in a very good position here to continue their early domination on this third point.
Worked in quick play, gonna go for that white room rotation. Makes sense to me. You don't want to get booped off. Knuckle already losing the barrier. Oh, that boop nearly got 3 there. Error is kicking himself a little bit. Oh, just a little closer, and he would have had half the team. But it's just gonna be a nice wait here for it worked in quick play. They want to come in here with full resources. They managed to get themselves onto the point without taking too much damage. The dive comes in. Shadow SM has to be a little careful. He does have the Primal, but he's got to be able to prop it. The Transcendence and the Primal both coming out at the same time. Both Transcendences actually here, but Shadow SM throws Knuckle off the map. Going to be collecting onto that kill. Bob does fire one back, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough for the moment. And Revive Esports holding handedly.
Yeah. You force the 3-3 composition to sort of play away from it the way it wants to. And it costs them. They don't get the healing up, they don't get the shielding up, and they're easy pickoffs from on range. And again, ultimates didn't really have to be used. You use the Transcendence, but other than that, not a whole lot. And you now have 4 ultimates to start this next fight.
Interesting switch-ups coming out here. Knuckle, who was previously the Reinhardt, goes on to the Widowmaker. And otherwise, it's just, well, a bit of it's a 3-2-1 here with a Widow. The Widow, obviously, to apply pressure to both Danim and Error, but Knuckle's got to deal with both of them, and Error's over on the side. He's got the Barrage, finds Bald Eagle, while Bob Will goes down. It's a desperation push here for it worked in quick play. Not going to net much of anything. Revive Esports looking to hold strong, 100-0.
They don't even have any way to contest. 97. Nope.
No,
yeah, nothing. And that just ends the map right out.
Dominance from Revive Esports in those second 2 rounds. It worked in quick play, did a very good job when it was that mirror matchup, but the second Revive Esports didn't opt into it. They ran away with the rest of Legion.
They really, really did, and if you're Revive Esports, you got to be happy with that. Is they executed their game plan perfectly. The May wall, nothing really looking there. They basically won a couple of fights based off of May wall alone.
See, you said that Shadow was unnecessary, but it got him play of the game. So that's all that matters, Zafon.
Right.
That's all you need. Is that clip at the end.
Sure. I have no rebuttal to that.
That's because it's right. Can't rebuttal when it's right. Well, you can, but you'd be dumb. Anyways, moving on into our next map. It is going to be Numbani coming out here. So if we see the 3-3 here, maybe a little bit more of that Winston variant. We've yet to see either of these teams pull that out as of yet, but it was Li Zhang, so you don't necessarily expect it there.
No, and the third map we went to, we did see some Winston play, but ultimately it was, you know, in a DPS look, so.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And you gotta wonder if it worked in quick play, right? Because they just ran the Ryan 3-3 all 3 rounds, never swapped anything out except for when they swapped to that weird Widow comp, which didn't really work. So you gotta wonder what their flexibility is like. We know that this team's favorite composition is goats, but what else do they have in the toolbox?
What tools? I think that's something they're gonna have to prove. You have to show that you are capable of, you know, switching up if necessary. They haven't yet. You know, Knuckles the one who ended up going towards the Widowmaker play, so you know he is the main tank player. Is that something that's going to happen frequently for it working quick play? I mean, living up to your team name certainly, but that's not an effective way of, you know, winning games outside of that environment. You need, you know, the competitive environment is very strict in how you kind of approach your team simply because of the necessities of practice. So, you know, for it worked in quick play, is that element going to come through, or are they going to have they scrimmed, have they practiced these kind of like compositions, and it remains to be seen.
Well, most interestingly, Knuckle was running that Reinhardt, right? All rounds. But on their roster, Knuckle is actually listed as a flex. Their main tank player is actually John Doe. So, bit of an interesting bit of flexibility in roles there. And you gotta wonder how that might play into other compositions.
We'll get a chance to kind of look at it here too, right? Because
certainly
when the point of locks, when the team comps are locked in, we'll be able to see if that's in fact the case, right? But yeah, I agree with you. It is very strange that your tank player supposedly is not playing tank, and instead it's a flex player that's doing it. So we shall see.
Oh, we will get our first Baptiste sighting of the match, it seems. Alpha Fear running that, or is he just waiting in spawn to bait me? He's waiting in spawn to bait me. Unlucky. He's going to be swapping up, I believe. Any second.
It could be these teams are...
you don't. Pick one.
I mean, it could be that they're discussing it, right? Yeah, he's going to switch.
There he is. He's going to switch.
It looked like the team was kind of discussing what they wanted to run, and weren't sure what to settle on. They do settle on the Ana, but there's a cogent argument to be made to run Baptiste here, so I understand the thought process.
But, I mean, Revive Esports, they're not going to be playing very close together, so it makes sense to run that Ana over in the backline, especially with that, since you have that soldier up on the high ground, right? Good way to peel for the Ana up on the same spot. You're going to have that biotic field to try and keep your Ana alive if dive should come in here. But it worked in quick play, not going to be running dive per se. They're actually going to break out a Widowfara of their own.
Yeah, and John Doe now on the main tank, so, you know, back to that role for him, and already it worked in quick play. Gonna try and find the entry point here.
And they dive straight in over onto the backline. Very aggressive dive. Didn't really have any sort of decisive opening. Cut short is gonna have his mech cut short, and probably his life soon here. But first thing cut down is Knuckle. A lot of kills going the way of it worked in quick play. Actually, they've managed to work their way onto the point, and already 2 takes taken. Revive Esports just let all of that happen.
Yeah, they really do. They allow it working quick play to walk up and just win the fight. They had better positioning, but they kind of seceded it. They kind of just gave up the ground and fell down, and it worked in quick play go for the point capture.
Now that payload's going to get moving. 5 minutes, 17 seconds on the clock. That's a lot of time here for point B, especially considering that Revive Esports got a little bit of those split spawns. Not going to be punished, but they are going to have to set up rather far back in the point, work their way forward here. A little bit of a brawl happening over in that top right room. Both teams want to contest that high ground a bit. Bald Eagle gonna have that barrage. This could be devastating for Revive Esports. They need to get something to counter it online.
Well, yeah, Knuckle does have the sights too, so they know where everyone is as they engage with the Transcendence here, Paul. And a ton of resources being committed for this defense.
Yeah, Shadow SM both primals and gets the nano onto him. Now the Tac Visor is out here for Dan M. The Valkyrie's also out. All they've got left on the board is that barrage for the moment, and they have yet to find a kill. Short throws a bomb onto the cart, and it manages to find Dan M. Oh, that's a lot of damage off the board now. A Desperation self-destruct coming the other way, finds Bob Will, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough for the moment. Error's going to have to come up clutch if it worked at Quick Play want to try and, or not it worked. If Revive Esports want to try and stabilize here, but it's not going to be the case. And it worked in Quick Play, going to push through, give themselves 5.5 minutes to take point C.
That's plenty of time, right? That's a ton of room to work with, but our switch is going to come through. John Doe switches up to Reinhardt, as does Shadow SM, and now we're seeing, you know, not 3-3, we're just seeing Rein Zarya, and looking for more opportunities. Danny, I'm going to find a headshot. That's going to slow things down just a little bit.
Yeah, it worked in Quick Play. Going to have to be a little bit careful here. They don't have anything contesting that Widow, so they really can't peek the Widow sight lines because there's nothing else for Dan to worry about. He's just got that long angle. He's holding the same one, though. This could be easy to read if Knuckle gets that through his head. The target is called out. Knuckle could find this pick nice and easily here. There are Reinhardts, so the shielding is very possible. Going to make this Widow duel very awkward through here. The barrage comes out, forces the enemy team back. Revive Esports have to back up, and Arrow's not able to find anything but cover for Osmal's res with his own barrage here. Now the Shadow comes out from Shadow SM, but it's just not nearly enough. It worked in Quick Play, pushing through nice and easy.
Yeah, that Shatter was a little bit questionable. You know, you're by yourself and
optimistic.
Yeah, that is the nicer way of putting it, for sure. And already, you know, it worked in Quick Play, finding a ton of kills. They're looking to push this in all the way.
Yeah, still 4 minutes on the time bank too, so they could have more than enough to get in here. Please touch the point. Okay, Shadow SM manages to get there, and Error finds Bald Eagle up in the top. Denim connects on a Knuckle, however. It's going to make it very difficult, and Anke, the only one really on the point for the defense. Self-destruct up overhead. Revive Esports are finding the kills, though. They've got that double hit scan at range, and they managed to hold this one out for the moment.
Cut short, rather than remeching, decides to go after Dan with the Bunny Blaster. It gets him at the end, but, you know, pays for with his life. And
worth it.
Yet they do get the I don't know that worth it is the word I would use, but they do get held for the moment.
And not too many ults for it worked in Quick Play to work with either. They've really only got that Valkyrie online. Could give them a chance in a longer sustained fight. But they're going to have to be very careful of both Dan and Error working back in here. Also going to have to be careful of a grab. Nobody was there to follow up on that one. Not sure that was the play there. Anke does get the nano, so could work back to another one rather quickly, but gonna have to get aggressive, and it's mostly just peeling off for the moment. The Shadow does come through. It connects on a 3. John Doe with the counter charge. Denies any kind of follow-up, however. And now it worked in Quick Play is pushing their way back on forward. They have to back up, though, because John Doe was bioed. And it worked in Quick Play aren't going to be able to make a dent in the defense.
Not yet, at least. Now a reset comes through. They're going to have to find another gear, so to speak, to try and get all the way through into third. I mean, I guess it's technically uphill, so maybe you drop down a gear. That's just some random standard car talk. But no, back to the game again, and here now more switches coming up. Bald Eagle to switch to the Sombra, and looking to build that EMP and perhaps be a fight win immediately as Air, you know, continues this reign of terror on the McCree.
Does have enough time. Gets the hack onto an Anke, so no bubbles available for Shadow SM at the moment. Takes so much damage. The Immortality Field has to go out just to save the Reinhardt here. And now, that's no longer available. That's something it worked in Quick Play don't have to worry about as they push their way on forward. The Shadow goes down. It catches 3. Easy cleanup here for the attacking team. They're going to push their way on forward without any kind of issue. Error has the nano, but he's not going to be able to do anything except die.
Yeah, I fully agree with you there, and that's going to have to be the completion there. Anke not able to get back in time. No one else either, and that is going to be the reset. You know, a little too aggressive from Revive. They get shattered pretty consistently here, and it's going to cost them. If you keep getting, if you're unable to block that mainline stun, then it's really, really effective at shutting down pushes, shutting down fights, and excellent work from it working Quick Play to close out the point.
Interesting compositions that we saw coming through there, right?
I think they were
like
compositions born of necessity, right? I think it was compositions born of necessity rather than decisions. So
sure,
there's an element of, oh, they're running this, so let's counter
they made
it
it
with
audible,
this type.
Yeah,
yeah,
made it audible. worked out for It Worked in Quick Play, and it didn't work out terribly for Revive once they got onto that third point, right? 5.5 minute time bank whittled down to under 2 minutes. That's all right, right? You take those.
Yeah, it's not bad. You're able to hold, and now if a retake has to come through, 2.5 minutes is like what, 4 fights, so as opposed to a 5-minute time bank, which could be significantly longer. Yeah.
Imagine having to hold on point A for 5 minutes. Ugh. Don't want to try and do that here, but It Worked in Quick Play are going to have to hold for 4. They're going to be showing us a bunker composition with that Baptiste run. In all seriousness, no baits this time. It's going to be that brand new hero. And they're going to try and keep control of all of these sight lines, but they have to be a little bit careful here. They're running very packed, and they give up a lot of space by doing this.
And it's very susceptible to breaking down, right? If one person goes down, then it becomes and the Mercy cannot resurrect it. It becomes a real issue. So,
well, no resurrect coming out for Shadow SM. No Mercy ran in Sombra Goats. Cut Short does lose the mech already here. And Revive Esports are doing a rather good job of playing the angle underneath the Bastion, but it's not nearly enough. Cleanup comes through, and not much gain for Revive on that offense.
Certainly not, and that's the power of the bunker composition, right? If it has superior, it has a ton of damage that is localized in one area, and its strength is also its weakness. But if you don't capitalize on the weakness, then it becomes a strong comp. So, especially with the Baptiste Immortality field, where you can nullify, basically all the damage coming through is irrelevant because it gets blocked out. It's a real struggle area there. Just trying to farm up to that EMP, right? But up to 80%. And here now, as the high ground contest comes in, there's a rotation. Both teams just rotating all the way through.
Well, but Revive has to try and pull that rotation off without a Diva. They get halted onto the low ground, and now it's just a shooting range for Knuckle. Manages to find Shadow SM. It's a free tick, almost 2 taken, but the second one's not going to come through. Knuckle cleaning up.
It really is unfortunate here for for our offense, because
it's hard to do that rotation without a Diva.
It really, really is. You take a ton of spam on the entryway, and Error has been very slow on this EMP relative to the fact that of his team. There's 2 minutes left on the clock, and that's a lot to worry about.
Especially with 2 ticks taken already, right? Just barely Revive Esports were able to whittle that one in toward the very end. They have to try and go for this third. Error does have the EMP, and we do have a pause coming out on the field.
It looks like perhaps a technical difficulty. So when the reset comes through, yeah, it could just be an issue that comes. We'll have the resolution very quickly.
It does seem that we have a disconnect or a connection issues at the very least coming through here for a player on Revive Esports. Sure, that'll get sorted out quickly, but let's talk EMP. Because this is set up to be a devastating ultimate against It Worked in Quick Play, and it doesn't really seem, based on their formation at the moment, that they've tracked this and expect it coming. They're all still right on top of each other, and even if Baptiste manages to throw out an Immortality field, it's just going to get hacked by an EMP as well.
So that's an interesting thing I learned about the Immortality field recently, is that if you throw the Immortality field out right as the EMP comes through, right? It doesn't get hacked while it's being deployed.
There's a short frame that you can actually manage to.
Exactly. So if you're joining on the spot, you can block out the EMP, and It Worked in Quick Play. Looking as soon as they come to the high ground, they're gonna try and put this Baptiste ultimate out and try and
the translocate EMP coming through, the pin coming on to cut short, but the rotation is just a little slow. Does manage to get John Doe, however, and the aggression is still there from Revive. They want these kills so badly, and they're gonna get the point and the kills.
Not only do you get the point and the kills, they're getting super staggered kills. So the card still needs to unlock, right? You're not missing anything by getting these kills here. They're going to be delayed super badly. There's a ton of time left. They're going to get pretty significant cart space before anyone can even recontest a 6.
That kill on Volver is brutal here. It Worked in Quick Play. Gonna change things up. No bunker once the payload gets moving. Right call there. It's going to be that Widow Pharah yet again. And you know what? This worked on their offense, so there is a window of opportunity here.
There is. I think if you can get those headshots on the squishy characters, right, you can force them. Oh, the Sombra is trying to crouch walk in the corner, and Knuckles scouts about, but you know, neither really gets a final blow, so it becomes more of a stalemate than anything, and a reset for both.
Oh, Shatter just cut short here, and Shadow SM going to pay for that one with his life. Bomb out on the point, self-destruct catches an Anke, and that's going to be it for Revive Esports. They're going to have to back up now.
Yep. Error picks up one, but it is not enough, as Bob Will Ford just turns it right back, and you know, it's unfortunate, but that's the greediness there from Error. You already have the EMP. Looking for a final blow is pretty questionable for me.
This EMP could be devastating, though. If Error can manage to get this onto both the tanks and the Pharah Mercy combo, it could be an easy way for Revive Esports to catch everyone on the ground and push their way through.
Yeah, Nako gonna be switch, you know, attempt to push off the high ground by Ananke, but she actually kind of has to back out. That good sound barrier here, dude. This is a tempo sound barrier. They want to go with this one.
The EMP does connect onto 3. Bob going down first, John Doe next, and it's just a Widow and Mercy here. Not going to be nearly enough. The res does come into Bob Will, but that's more of a stagger res more than it is a successful one.
For sure. You know, it's gonna have to be a reset now, and even though they use the EMP and sound barrier simultaneously, it's okay because you know you guarantee the fight win out, and you know, because of the non-stop switches here, there is going to be you know, there's going to be an opportunity for you to have ultimate economy in this next fight.
And it worked in quick play. They have to switch their entire composition up to go to this 3-3, and they don't have ult advantage. The ult advantage is going to be slightly in favor of Revive, as Shadow SM is holding on to that Shatter. The Transcendence is out from both sides, used aggressively, and then countered. Shadow SM could look for the Shatter right here, throws it straight into the shield, gets caught out, takes so much damage, going to be going down. Error also caught out, and that'll be Revive Esports having to back up.
Questionable self-destruct there, and Bald Eagle, hello? I mean, there's...
I don't think, unless Knuckle goes down as well.
What?
He shattered? No, he has the Shatter. He didn't use it quite yet. Cut short, going to put an end to this nonsense, though. Goes, come on, guys. Come on. Wait, we got the kills. Let's just clean them up.
Yeah, I mean, it's still possible for them to lose this one.
Please. There we go.
Oh,
he was just
my.
on the cart that whole time. All right, now Revive Esports have to back up.
I mean, they should have backed up a while ago, but somehow got value out of that fight, so you never really do know. An Error now has the EMP very shortly, and if you can catch, you know, 5 or 6 members, then you could, you know, sort of shut down the push pretty much before it even starts. John Doe, I mean, I don't think there's any way for them to capitalize. Yeah, I don't think there's any way for them to capitalize.
I certainly think there is. They're going to push in right now. They deal a lot of damage onto that front line, but there's the EMP out. The Transcendence, though, Bob Will was hiding, but he can't get there in time to save. Cut short. It's a damage advantage now for Revive Esports to work with. The Shadow coming out, doesn't manage to find much of anything of value, but the Bomb Will self-destruct from John Doe, catches 2, forces Revive Esports to go for that reset.
Certainly. Now, you know, you're buying yourself time to play. Oh, great pickup there as Bob Will for, yeah. That you reset there, you force the Ryan to go back to his team, and now, you know, Revive Esports, they have to cap with time in the time bank, because if you want a second attack, you absolutely have to have, you know, a little bit of that extra time. So you even 0.1 second, you need at least something to be able to get a second attack run here after you're completing out the map.
60 seconds remaining. Thank you, Athena, for that one. As we move on in here, Revive, they have to try and cap with time if they want to win this map. They could still draw it if they don't, but that's not what you're looking for. You want to put yourself on match point with your Revive. 2 of the Shadow. Shadow SM taking a lot of damage in the front line, though. Got to be very careful. Knuckle taking more, though, as he tried to push in and punish the grab from Cut Short, but not going to be able to do so. Sound barrier out. Got to keep it worked in quick play alive for the moment. Revive Esports, they've got a Transcendence of their own. It does get counteracted by the Transcendence coming out the other way, and this advantage could quickly disappear for Revive Esports. Knuckles back in the fight now. He gets the pin, he gets the Shatter off the back of it. No follow-up there, but it's more than enough for the moment. It's not going to be a cap with time here. It worked in quick play. They just have to back up. They can't, though. They're caught in a Graviton. The bomb prevents any kind of follow-up. John Doe gets 2. Nice one, but Error gets 2 more. and Revive Esports, they're going to push their way on home and try and get this full cap.
There is going to be a last-second contest here, perhaps.
Oh, not quite. The boop's too strong.
Good. Yeah, the boop's too strong, as they say. You know, I feel like everyone with a knockback has been working out, right? Hitting the gym, because people are just flying around.
Yeah. It definitely doesn't have to do with patch notes. Everybody's just getting those gains.
Yeah, listen, if you gotta be swole, and
gotta be swole.
I don't understand how Farah. You know, Farah's already pretty muscular.
I was gonna say,
I mean,
but how does muscles affect Lucio's right click?
Sound, yeah. Well, he punches with the gun as he uses the sound wave, and that.
I don't think that's how that works.
Well, I don't think how in-game physics that work.
No, they removed momentum, so it wouldn't work that way. Ha!
Yeah, true. True.
Well, it's gonna have to work. It worked in quick play, ironically enough. They got 1 minute 47. All they need is a tick on point A. Gonna be that bunker yet again here for Revive. It took well more than 2 minutes the first time, although we do have pause coming out as it seems Asmal. Some kind of issue there.
Yeah, technical issue here is they have to reset. I would assume in play. We'll get a resolution on this. Certainly as quickly as possible.
Let's talk what it means if we do have a draw here, right? Because what it means is we get at least 2 more maps. So this
correct. Well, we have a tiebreaker, right? We would get a tiebreaker, and then we would head into our map number 3.
Exactly.
So
this series could still very much go either direction, regardless of it if it worked in quick play can pick up this tick or not.
Heading into the half tied up is certainly where you want to be if you're it works in quick play.
Better be tied than down 1, right?
Exactly. You want to have a map score on your screen, because that puts you in an opportunity to kind of close out the series as well. So here now, this is a really good counter. This is a really good look for against what the bunker is running. It's a really smart play from.
It is, but the problem is it's so time dependent, right? That EMP can take so long to work up to for Bald Eagle, and if he doesn't manage to do so, it's going to be very difficult to dislodge that bunker. Although it worked in quick play down on the point. They're harassing out Anon. Bob Will goes down, but this has to be contested for Revive. Shadow SM drops his way on down here. Does manage to DMAC, has the immortality field, so it worked in quick play. Not going to make a dent on this push.
Not yet, but Knuckle actually coming through.
Knuckle.
It's not going to be enough, but it buys enough time that it might, in the next push, become a real issue here. Yeah.
But it's resets for both sides, though, so it's not really an opening here. And Bald Eagle, as I was saying earlier, only not even halfway to that EMP, as more than half the time bank has been allotted at this point. 40 seconds remaining for it worked in quick play to get in here, and the ults are certainly looking good for Revive.
If you can get Knuckle into position for this barrage, you could close it out with it, right? There is an opportunity for that to come through, but getting into position as far out to get a barrage is so tough. That's a good very first start, though.
That's a great start. Oh, and Danam going down too. Oh, this is it. It worked in quick play. They found the hard dive that they needed. They cleaned up the necessary targets. They got that healer, and it was just easy pickings from there. The EMP barrage to clean it on up. Only one player on the point. It's just Bald Eagle, the lone survivor, but he manages to get the win.
Yeah, and it worked in quick play, tying up the series here at 1. And again, yeah, the spam comes through from the Farah, finds 2 kills, and even though everyone else traces out, it doesn't really matter. You only need one person on the point to full cap that third, and that will be Numbani heading back to it worked in quick play. So, Lijiang Tower went to Revive Esports, and then obviously Numbani, our most recent map, to our team. It worked in quick play.
We're going to see who can manage to extend that lead, give themselves the win in this series right after a quick break, folks. Don't go anywhere. This is the North America Open Division. welcome back to the North American Open Division. My name is Paul Zabal. I'm here with LaFon. We're 1-1 coming out of halftime between Revived Esports and It Worked in Quick Play. We're moving on to Hanamura, and this is a map that just keeps on giving sometimes.
I mean, between this and Temple of Anubis, we can often see, more points than the other 3 maps combined. So that is certainly an opportunity to be had, and it's impressive that can happen because each, of the 3 remaining maps, 2 of them have 3 points. So, and the last one obviously is control maps would only have it could have 3 as well. So up to 9 points. It's simple math there.
Some quick maths there on broadcast. Always a dangerous thing when you're as dumb as we are, but I mean, give it to you anyways.
True. It's a bit suspicious because my degree is actually in mathematics, so it's even more problematic for me.
See, once upon a time I was an astrophysics major, but then magnets got involved and I couldn't do that. So
I was actually I was in theoretical physics, but then realized I was too dumb for that, so I went to computer science, and then realized I didn't enjoy coding, so I went to philosophy. So yeah.
Well, the more you know. But what we know now is what It Worked in Quick Play, now in the blue, are going to be running here on their defense. Going to be that same bunker that we saw for... No, actually, it was the Revive Esports who pulled out that bunker. So it's going to be a bunker from It Worked in Quick Play.
And we've actually seen a ton of bunker compositions in this patch as of late from Tier 1 teams. Yeah, especially in this map, right? Because you can kind of set up and, running into a Bastion, always a tough choice, and even tougher when, he's kind of invulnerable, right? He's going to pump a ton of damage out. You can't kill him. What do? You kind of just fall over, so.
I hope this gets scouted and that Revive Esports tackle this. It is actually going to get scouted. Error on the scout there. So we'll see. Yes, the Symmetra. It's going to be the Chengdu strat. They're going to try and mitigate the sightlines of this composition entirely here. They're going to go for those teleporters. Just waiting for the all clear. Now the teleporter's down. It's the rotation coming out. When It Worked in Quick Play see this, what do they want to do? They pull out Revive Esports, but they don't manage to connect onto a kill. And now Revive
this is literally the Chengdu strat. Literally the Chengdu strat. Error though. Ooh.
That would have been bad. You lose your Symmetra there, that would have been very bad.
Very bad. Wait, what? Why are we? Oh, they're just teleporting across. That's interesting. Okay, they want to just set up the high ground here as opposed to the opposite high ground that, we saw yesterday.
You don't claim control of the point here. That's the only thing.
Oh, they're going to drop down. They're moving forward slowly.
They are. Danham's got to be careful. Oh, but Bald Eagle should have been even more careful. Gets caught out in front of the shield. Bell is there to give both teams a little bit of protection here. But Symmetra, the Symmetra is just going to start burning through here. Error going to deal all of that damage. The Amp Matrix is down. We got a Nano Symmetra on the field, ladies and gentlemen. Error looking to tear through. Throws out that ultimate. It's so difficult to get past that shield. It's got something like 6,000 health here. The Revive needs to start connecting onto kills. There's one onto Knackle. That means it's going to be very difficult here for It Worked in Quick Play to deal any kind of damage. This is madness on the point, but Revive Esports looking to get the better end of it.
They're going to get here eventually. It's that... Look how long it took them, almost 2 minutes. And we're going to see here now, man, Error, so high energy.
There was certainly an error in the defense.
Yeah. I mean, Revive Esports, give them credit. They see Chengdu's strat once and then replicate it basically instantly. So very well played by them. They didn't have a ton of time to make things. They made literally the same rotation that Chengdu did. The only difference is that they're going to switch up their compositions here on second, while our favorite Hunter team decided to run all the way through.
Certainly. Well, they did have ults, whereas most of those ults from Revive were burned in favor of getting that point A cap. So now it's just going to be that straight up Reinhardt Goats, the 3-3 coming through. Going to be a main push out from Revive. They're just going to work their way straight on through. They get to the point without any kind of resistance, really. This could get a little dicey here. The Tac Visor is out, and the Amp Matrix to pair with it, but the bomb from Ananke finds 2, but the bomb from John Doe finds 3. Vanilla bombs up in the air, both divas bringing that one out. John Doe says, anything you can bomb, I can bomb better.
Yeah, that was really impressive, and that actually just stabilized their hold and allows them to now reset and change compositions, which then they can use to start building ultimates again. You know, Revive is not too far ahead in terms of ult economy. Look, they're only about 50% across the board, 40 even in some cases, and with staggered out kills like that, you're just not going to be able to enter. That's a good right click that just slows them down basically one entire push.
Yeah, pretty hard for Revive to try and fight that at a 5v6. They're not going to bother, just going to wait for Alpha Fear here, but all the meanwhile, it worked in quick play. Just slowly ticking up to try and match the ults that Revive are going to have online first.
Certainly, and you know, now you need I would expect the offense. You need to play a little aggressively here and force the issue at some point. You want to build your ultimates really quickly before you allow the enemy team to build theirs. And for Revive, you have to kind of go. You have to kind of get the shatter up online now and get the final blows. Knuckle a little too far forward there.
Oh, but it's Hakyojin who goes the furthest forward. Gets pinned to the side. Ooh, nice shatter, but he can't follow up. He goes down. Danom was in the room, didn't get shattered, and he managed to clean that one up. Now both Transcendences out on the field as the fight moves on toward the point. Grab down, John Doe couldn't manage to eat it, and it's an easy cleanup as that Transcendence was already used. Revive Esports looking for that point B cap.
And it seems like it should only be a matter of time before they get it here. Again, you know, very high energy in Dan M's Zarya, and now with point control, they should just get this point at the very last. Stall, you know, not nearly good enough here, and they will cap point B, and do have a 2-0 heading into their defense.
It's a good start and not a terrible time bank for Revive Esports, right? They had about 3 minutes, yeah, 3:25 on the clock. Not bad, not bad. They got to hold here, though, if they want to try and give themselves an immediate lead in the series and not send us into those dreaded assault time bank rounds.
Yeah, you want to clean this one up as quickly as possible. You don't really want to have it staggered out for a time, right? Because that can really be an issue for you, because if you get to those last stages, right, it tires you out mentally. It's not just you know, you can't think about it just in the map sense. You have to think about it in terms of the match, and if map goes on for a very long time, you can kind of get stuck mentally in that map, and you know, in the next map you can kind of struggle to get yourself going again. So yeah, you definitely want to close this one out here and just try and get to the next map as quickly as possible and put yourself at match point to try and win out the series in 4.
It's gonna be the goats. Goats, actually, coming out from the defense, can be very effective here on point A of Hanamura, right? There's that big choke point. Cutting us somebody off, not too hard of a task.
No, certainly not at all. You can make it work really, really well. And if you know, if the enemy team's playing Reinhardt, then you just kind of wall the Reinhardt off, and wow, all of a sudden he's just dead because you can follow up on him, right? But at least for now, we'll see if that ends up you know, being fortuitous in terms of how they choose to engage. But other than that, it's basically the same. You drop the D.Va and you play the Mei instead, and it seems to me at least that it's designed to play around the fact that Knuckle wants to be aggressive in the Reinhardt play.
Gonna keep that aggression going. He pushes his way on forward. The wall doesn't come out as of yet. There it is, though. Catches Knuckle out. It's easy pickings for the defense, and now it worked in quick play. Just going to back up and wait.
Yeah, you can't if you're gonna get walled off like that, you're gonna get killed. And a great job getting it up in time. And now, you know, starting to try and build towards that Mei ultimate that Blizzard hits a couple of right clicks, and again trying to find value. Knuckle's gonna have a shatter very shortly. This could be, you know, if you can hit a good shatter in the back line, it just could prevent a whole host of trouble coming through.
Oh, that is a pretty decent shatter. Catches 3, but the follow-up is better for Revive. Alpha Fear just fragging out from the room, completely decimates the offense.
It helps that Error was able to freeze the main tank from the defense, right, or from the offense. As Knuckle switches now. A bunch of switches coming through. They're going to be going to a Pharah composition here. And just Rein Zarya with a Pharah. So John Doe back on the Rein. And already, man, these switch ups are so strange. No. But Bald Eagle going down.
Yeah, Bald Eagle got caught out in the room, detected there. Means that it worked in quick play. Just going to have to wait it out even longer. Knuckle is over on that Pharah, but it's such slow goings here, and already a minute and a half burned off of the clock. Revive Esports have pretty much every ult in the bank that they could hope for to try and hold on to this.
Shadow SM has been just taking this damage here as they force the Transcendence out.
but
Counter trans,
so
but
low.
yeah.
Yeah, there's the grab, the Blizzard, both coming out. The Snow Globe combination freezes up. It worked in quick play, and it's easy cleanup despite a barrage catching one. Dan goes down, but the rest of it worked in quick play goes down first.
And 2 minutes are remaining, and both these teams dumped a ton of ultimates in. John Doe will still have the Earth Shadow, though. You know, wasn't greedy, did decide to save it, and could be the hero for his team here if he can line up a good shatter and execute on it.
Not quite sure he decided to save it. He was just frozen in the mail when he died.
I think there was an element of decision making there. Like it looked, he had an opportunity to use it and decides not to. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt there. While Shadow SF is down to 1 HP, but
he gets traded out too because Error is hacked, so can't really split off the enemy Reinhardt here. Now Knuckle is completely uncontested in the air, getting 3 kills this fight already. It worked in quick play. It's been a long road to get here, but they're finally going to cap out this first point.
But time bank differential should be a thing here, right? You're expecting that stall to come through. Error is going to look like to get a little bit more time through. They're going to get below that minute mark as Error finally goes down. And, you know, Revive, sure, they don't get the full hold, but they certainly stall out a ton of time on first.
Will be an opportunity for them to snowball, though. Knuckle nearly at that barrage. EMP online for Bald Eagle. So if they can get that combo off, or the EMP shatter could be devastating against the defense here. We'll see how they choose to approach this right now. Bald Eagle just scouting out, giving his team the information about where Revive Esports is set up. Looks like they're pushing up that right side. They want to meet him, go for that EMP, and there it is. The shatter to follow it up. Manages to find more than enough. Shadow SM, however, finds 2 kills. He wasn't caught by the shatter, so it's still an opening here for Revive Esports to stabilize. It worked in quick play, gonna move their way down onto the point and pick up an on-K. They've got control of the point, but the respawns are going to favor Revive. If Dan can find another pick or two, this could quickly go back, but you have to go and contest the point, Revive. They've managed to get there just barely. The barrage grab out, manages to find Alpha Fear. Now, though, Revive Esports have worked their way back. They've got their full team online, and they're going to stall this one out. 96.6, but it won't be enough.
And, oh man, that was so close. Like, you know, literally a quarter second more, and this would have been another round. Like, that's how close it was. It worked in quick play, just not quite getting the full, like, the grab dodge was a second too late. And even better, Revive comes out of both spawn doors simultaneously, right? So you're not going to get everyone grabbed, and they're able to contest points. Specifically, again, the Lucio player on the defense, and now it's gonna come down to can you build up ultimates again and try and get a last fight on point?
Oh, a lot of damage going down onto onto it worked in quick play rather. Gonna have to pop that Transcendence to keep themselves alive and move themselves to the point. The Amplification Matrix is out over top, but it's really only Asmal who's benefiting from it right now. Might be more than enough, though. He does connect onto the mech. It's traded out, however, so it's still a relatively even fight, but an even fight obviously going to favor Revive Esports after a time.
99.6% though. You cannot step off the point at all if you're
wrong, but it's just not enough for it worked in quick play.
Yeah, I mean, if it worked in quick play, they'd sneakily almost grab the point again. And wait, Knuckles using Earth Shatter. What?
You gotta imagine he's switching. He got caught out on his stagger. You gotta imagine Knuckles is switching, right?
Yeah, Winston? I would agree with that.
Switch to the Winston.
Play the Reinhardt.
He's staying. Oh, wrong button. Oh no, the fat finger. Oh, you hate to see it. Oh, that's devastating.
Yeah, if your binding is confusing, my recommendation is change it.
Move the Q button. All right, well, it worked in quick play. Not gonna have too many Qs to work with here. I'll automatically get caught inside that minefield. Knuckle just gets pummeled into a corner. It's not gonna be a push that it worked in quick play can capitalize off of. Shadow SM putting an end to that push.
They don't even get any ultimates out. You know, they get the Primal Rage, but we know how quickly that builds up, so. You know, working quick play, they kind of just lose that fight pretty easily. I guess it's a dry fight. Okay.
Hello?
Okay, I mean...
Okay, well, it got a stagger.
Yeah, but you should have been able to get that kill without the stagger, so... Without the self-destruct, so... I guess that's 2 ultimates now.
It is down to 1 minute and 10 seconds here for It Worked in Quick Play. They are going to come back in here with 5 ults, though. So it's going to be a lot of tools in the tool belt. Them to try and work their way back in here with. A lot of win conditions on the board. Revive Esports not working with the same luxury right now. All they've got is Alpha Fear to try and keep them alive long enough to build up to things. The first Transcendence comes out from Bob Will. The pin, long distance on Error, means that they don't have to worry about that disruption anymore. Ampfield up over top. Asmal just wants to heal his team up right now. They are caught in a grab. The bomb, the shatter, everything out from It Worked in Quick Play. They managed to dislodge Revive Esports. Now it's just a question of how much time can Revive stall off the clock. Less than a tick needed for the offense here. It's getting worked up to. Error is trying his heart out right now. Down on the point, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough. If Revive can just stall this out for a few more seconds.
Oh.
No, Shadow SM's off the point, even though
he jumped a little too far. His primal tech not good enough. He could have actually stalled out for another 10 seconds or so, taking them to the overtime. But as it stands, yeah, as it stands, you know, they get a second attack run.
They certainly do. Only 1 minute though, and it took them much longer than that to get point A the first time, right? So even though you don't get the full stall there, it's still looking pretty good for you if you Revive Esports.
Certainly. I mean, they did have the much better time bank, so there is that. But you're hoping for the overtime there. You're hoping to get the stall out to continue, and you know the primal is just a little too far. In that instance, by the way, it's better to be safe than sorry. It's better to die on the point than to try and stay alive and accidentally get off of it. So, you know, it's unlucky, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, and so now you have a minute to kind of hold.
Yep, certainly do. They're going to be coming out on a little bit different of a look here for Revive. Actually, no, Revive. No, they ran the. Wait, was it them who ran the May? No.
No.
No, they did not run the May. My brain just shut off there for a minute. It's fine though, whatever. They're going to be running the Bastion composition. They're going to be sticking themselves on the high ground. It Worked in Quick Play. Going to have to find their way either through or around this.
Yeah, they are starting off with the Far Sombra, so, you know, this could be an opportunity for them. Ooh, the Translocator there is just a scout, I believe. Oh no. Knackle.
That's not great. Luckily, they Worked in Quick Play. They're not really in, so they don't have to try and win a fight out for that. They just wait, but that's a third of your time bank gone. Oh, actually, no, it's not. It's just your res gone, which you won't have back until about 5 seconds remaining.
Now, you know, they hack Dan M up, so he can't be in turret form, can't be in sentry form. Now he does get around to it. And again, a minute, 20 seconds remaining. You need to start showing some value here. Start getting some fight wins or some kills. Neither team is really finding much.
Yeah, both teams kind of just brawling all over the place right now, but it's going to be a little bit of an advantage here for It Worked in Quick Play. Oh, Dan M moved down to the point too aggressively. Wasn't able to stay alive because he didn't have any kind of support. Now it's a delayed but cleanup here for It Worked in Quick Play, but they're ultimately going to get this first point and give themselves 30 seconds to move on to B.
I mean, there's still an opportunity. There's the barrage. Oh, Knackle actually comes through on top. Now they're going to capture point A.
Yeah, Error not quite able to connect onto that one. Means that it's just overtime. Just die on point call here for Revive Esports. They're going to have to hold for those 30 seconds on B, but Bald Eagle got that EMP. John Doe's got that shatter. This could be a very simple snowball.
You have to respect the EMP. You have to respect the EMP shatter. And there's Transcendence too, so you have support ultimates to sustain through whatever damage Revive is going to do. And you know that Revive has no ultimates because they used all of them on the first point or switched up. So, Revive Esports definitely in a pinch here as the flashbang comes in. So as the right click, John Doe goes down.
John Doe is deleted. Send that man to the morgue and mark him as John Doe. Now it's just kind of desperation here for It Worked in Quick Play. The EMP does come out, connects onto 3, but there's no follow-up. Osmal down on 50 health because of how the Zen shielding works, and It Worked in Quick Play can't connect onto even that kill. It's going to be a cleanup and no ticks taken. Revive Esports are going to hold.
Now Revive has to get 1 1/3 point to win up this map and take the lead in our series, and You know, 4 minutes and 12 seconds. That's a ton of time if you think about it. More time, in fact, than you start off with. So, you know, with how quickly they took point A, expect something similar here for Revive Esports.
Certainly. It all comes down to it worked in Quick Play's defense, in my opinion, right? Because Revive Esports, what they did first round was they scouted it out, saw what it was. It was the bunker. So after that match from Chengdu, now the bunker on Hanamura A, pretty simple to work around if you've seen that rotation, right? Revive Esports executed flawlessly, but do it worked in Quick Play want to try that same defense? It doesn't seem like they do.
It's gonna come down to, I think here it's gonna come down to what what they expect Revive is gonna run, right? Like the defense here, it's all mind games, right? Once you get to the second, third round of Assault, it comes down to mind games as well, because you have to kind of guess what your opponent's gonna run, and they have to try and kind of counterpick it, especially when you have to hold out to try and win. So. You know, they're running this hog, and it's all designed around the fact that you want to try and abuse any flankers that come through, try and hook them, and then kill them. So we'll see if he can do that. But Error, you know, kind of the only one up right now in terms of being a flanker.
And the comp synergy just seems a little bit disjointed here for the defense. The scout is going to come out from Error, does see that it is this interesting 2-2-2 being ran. Opts to stay on the Sombra, it seems. Revive Esports going to push their way on forward. It's going to be the Sombra Goats for the moment, although Shadow SM going back to spawn, maybe switching to the Winston? Maybe? Or maybe not switching at all? Seems like a bit of indecision.
Well, they're getting there. Well, in the meanwhile,
hello?
I mean, Error just kind of fragged out Bob Wolf 4. They're going to res him, but it might not be enough. The resurrect isn't available, so next kill is kind of permanent. And it worked in Quick Play, are kind of struggling here. Den, I'm so very weak, but it doesn't really matter here. The hack comes in on the Reinhardt, no shield available.
Oh no!
And Paul, this could be the opportunity.
A hacked Reinhardt is basically a death sentence. Shadow SM going to be the executioner in this case. Revive Esports going to clean up handedly, give themselves about 3.5 minutes, just under probably, to take a singular tick on point B.
Yeah, there's still a contest coming through, but it's not going to be enough. Hakujin is going to go down, and now, you know, it's going to be a matter of time before the point gets unlocked. And as you say, 3 minutes 20 for that second point, 1/3 left for the victory for Revive.
And the issue here now is that Revive can just play for EMP. Error can just farm up to that. It's the regular goats from It Worked in Quick Play. Manages to get a good amount of charge off of John Doe there. As Revive Esports push in, Dan finds the first kill on Ababo, finds a second onto Bald Eagle. He's completely uncontested on the high ground. There's no way for a Goats comp to deal with this. Now the EMP's out, the Shatter to pair with it. Revive Esports are going to take this map and put themselves on match point.
There it is. No cleanup kills even required. Revive Esports takes the victory on Hanamura. 2-1, as you say. And yeah, no, Revive, putting them on notice. They do have match point.
Will be John Doe with a bit of a consolation prize play of the game here. Was an excellent bomb to try and stabilize on this defense. Does work out, but ultimately it worked in Quick Play, not able to hold there. I gotta be honest, LaFawn, I'm not a fan of that comp that they ran on first.
On the defensive side?
Yes.
I mean, it certainly...
Reinhardt.
Yeah, it certainly has not nearly as much synchronization as it could, right? Especially with the Roadhog. He becomes a bit of an ult battery if you're not careful. But I agree. You kind of need the D.Va to keep him alive. You kind of need the D.Va with the Zarya to babysit him and kind of keep him up. But instead, they run the composition they do, doesn't find value, and they end up losing this map. And now, got to go back into... Now you headed to map 4. It's going to be full escort. And Revive Esports one map away here now from sort of completing this match.
You got to wonder where It Worked in Quick Play want to take us here, right? Because it's not necessarily intuitive. Sometimes, you do a 3-3 mirror, you lose on that, so you try them on DPS, right? Sometimes you lose the DPS mirror, so you try them on the 3-3 map, right? To just try and force them and see where you can eke out these advantages. But it's been back and forth on all varieties of compositions for both these teams across the 3 maps we've played. It does seem like we will be going to watch Point Gibraltar as the 4th and potentially final map of the series.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be real curious to see how they complete it out, because this is now a map where there's a lot of high ground, right? So a lot of Winston is expected, a lot of mobility, a lot of perhaps even Widowmaker played here, and Dan M has kind of popped off.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in all fairness, like I was saying, there wasn't really anyone to contest him. So a contested Widow hitting shots versus an uncontested Widow hitting shots, it's two different types of skills, right?
It certainly is.
At the same time, if you're uncontested and you hit the shots that matter, then that's all you need.
Yeah. I mean, you could be uncontested and not hit shots, and that's infinitely worse. So,
yeah.
We'll
uncontested and not hitting shots, maybe find another hero to play.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, that's often what I hear in my ranked games, but I tend to ignore them because I know better. It's I'm a Widow god, so to speak, but that is absolutely false.
Yeah, I think that was pretty obvious. What isn't obvious though is what it worked in quick play coming out yet again. They will be starting on the defense. They'll be in blue first. What are they gonna run here? Because
I actually don't know.
Yeah, it's impossible to say, right? Because they came out on 3-3 in our first map. They won that mirror pretty handedly, but then they lost some weird matchups that they shouldn't have opted into. Then they win out some DPS compositions. They lose out some other one. It's been kind of all over the road for both of these teams. And it seems like they're going to go for the Widow Pharah.
Yeah, I mean, Pharah, man, we haven't seen this particular hero on this map in a long time. Like this is not something that's very common here, right? You often see like the Widowmaker is pretty normal.
Absolutely.
Pharah is just
especially on first point.
Especially on first point. You can make it work on second and to a certain extent third, but on first point it is a bit of a struggle, so.
Third, I find it's more practical on the offense sometimes because you can set the Widowmaker up behind you once you get on that last straight there. And it's really hard to go contest them, but
it certainly could be. Yeah, no, I mean, it's just the viability of it on this first point is somewhat curious. So we shall see if Baldy can in fact do it. Yeah,
especially considering Dan M is going to be coming out on that Widow. It's going to be the Widow Genji for Revive Esports. This, on paper, is a pretty decent matchup. It worked in quick play. They just have to be careful, not get too aggressive. Shadow SM pushing very far forward into that room. But it's Bald Eagle who goes down first. Dan M finding that kill. The res comes out. It's the signal to dive for Revive. Dan M finding yet another, and it worked in quick play, got a backpedal.
Yeah, I mean, when you lose your main tank like that, especially after the Resurrect was committed, you just, the fight's nearly always over. And Bald Eagle is going to get one, but I mean, it's brought right back. So, that trade's gone and you still have your Resurrect. So that's going to be, value there. And Dan M always on the flank, always on the run, always in the rotation has kind of been popping off a little bit.
And look at Shadow SM. He's just unrelenting. He's just slapping the other main tank around. He just wants to kill him, showing dominance. He does end up dying, but it's what is that worth? It worked in quick play. You lose point A with a 5.5 minute time.
Yeah, they don't even really take a fight, and now they're gonna get staggered up on the second point as well because Bob will gets he gets taken down. And now Dan M, in complete control of the Widow v Widow battle, will have, Infocyte online first, so we'll have, the knowledge first to kind of set up. And Dan M has been kind of really been hitting the shots to make that Widow very useful.
Knuckle has been doing a lot of damage to Shadow M right now. Ooh, and does manage to win out the Widow duel.
That's a big greed from Dan M.
It's a good pick, too, from Knuckle, though, and it means that it's going to be very hard for Revive to get in here, especially as the Infocyte comes out. Era's the next one to overextend, and despite the Valkyrie coming out from Alpha Fear, it's not looking good. Knuckle very deep, actually. Alpha Fear wants a piece of him, just pulls out the pistol. He's chasing him down. He gets the kill, but Alpha Fear, the rest of your team is dead.
I mean, if your team is dead, there's no reason not to go Battle Mercy, right? Just get a little highlight reel worthy play. Little clip that goes through, and you reset for the next fight. So, now Revive, they have the Dragon Blade and they have the Transcendence. They have tools to work with here, and they just need to be a little bit. They need to commit with them as they need to get Era into position so he can be able to use it without just dying instantly.
aggressive angle here from Dan M, but he does manage to get a decent sightline, crush it out a little bit. Bomb comes over the top, over into the back line. Doesn't manage to find anything. Now the blade is out from Error. He's looking for those kills, but all he can find right now are tanks, and he goes down first and foremost. Revive Esports, they popped the ults, but the value has yet to follow through. An EMP now on to 3. The Transcendence, though, from Asmal, he manages to get there in time and save his team. It worked in quick play, just staggering themselves onto this point, but it won't be enough. It'll be about a 5-minute time bank going into C.
Yeah, they're getting so much cart space here, and it worked in quick play. Just haven't really been able to get a real fight going as Dan M continues to kind of bully everyone who walks out of spawn. If you get far spawn, by the way, if you get forward spawn, the best way to do it is just to throw yourself off the map, especially here on Gibraltar, because they've kind of staggered out all of second, and it looks to me like they're going to try and they're unfortunately going to stagger out quite a bit of third as well.
And this is where Revive Esports get the positioning I was talking about. Oh, Dan M on the ledge. There's nobody who can really get to Dan M right now. It all comes down to that Widow duel from Knuckle, and it's so difficult for him to even peek right now. He goes down immediately. Dan M is shutting down the defense almost single-handedly. His tanks are in the fray, and Anke decides, nope, you're not the only one who can get kills, Dan M. This is a dominant push with a blazing time bank.
Yeah, 4 minutes still, and now switches are coming through, but it might not be enough. You know, can they get the kills some more? Again, another hack comes in. Oh, Knuckle gets knocked up and taken out.
And Dan M is yet again uncontested on the high ground, has full range of all of these points. Shadow SM helps him find that one. A bomb into the air in desperation, not going to net anything for cut short. It seems like this defense is going to be the only thing cut short here today. Knuckle comes back out, but that'll be the last one. Cut short on the payload. Can stall this out for a bit. That Baby Diva is rather obnoxious, and it's hard for Revive Esports to deal with the spawn advantage so heavily in favor. Asmal goes down. John Doe looking to try and stabilize here, but he needs to start connecting onto more kills. He's just wildly flailing around at the moment, and as the EMP comes out, it's going to be easy to lock down the rest of the defense. That'll be it. Revive Esports, full cap for them on Gibraltar.
And with plenty of time remaining as well, right? And now you have to expect that, you know, if it worked in quick play, you have to kind of walk back in and be like, okay, what do we bring to the table? What do we bring here to try and even up the series? Because again,
maybe not a Pharah this time.
Yeah, perhaps. Because remember, Revive is on match point.
Oh, absolutely. A hold at any point of this map would spell a loss, or it worked in quick play and mathematically eliminate them from playoff contention.
It's yeah, it's certainly a struggle, right? Because you don't want that the third loss next to your name. That is the end of it. There's just too many teams to be able to get past. So absolutely, you do need to win out here and continue to, if you want to continue your path forward. So yeah, it worked in quick play. Gonna try their best for sure, and I'm curious to see if they're gonna change things up and continue with the Widow, or not the Widow, the Pharah, or if they're going to basically mirror.
I don't think they're going to run the Pharah again.
Yeah, I think the Sombra makes sense.
This over right now, I wouldn't hate that, right?
Yeah, no, this makes sense, right?
The Widow Genji on defense, I also like. These are both very sensible compositions.
Yeah, exactly. There's a win condition established for both characters, right? For the Sombra, it's the EMP. For the Widowmaker, it's click heads. And for the Genji, it's farm Dragon Blade, and then kind of go in after that. So
absolutely.
I
do think the Genji is a little bit better because of just the nature of point A of Gibraltar. It's a little bit difficult to connect onto an EMP greater than 3 or so players.
The thing is, though, if you confirm the kill if you can confirm those 3 kills, then you can. Fair. It can be a big difference.
That is a fair point here. Right now, Knuckle looking for the enemy Widowmaker. Not going to be that aggressive an angle. Going to grapple up onto the high ground. Dan M is watching that door, though, so it's going to have to be a very careful peek. Knuckle spots him out, though. Dan M watching the wrong angle. Gets taken out first and foremost. Bald Eagle trying to deny the res. It's not going to quite work out here, but while the res was going through, Ananke and Asmal both go down. No healing available for them. Dan M does fire back, though, so he's the only Widow on the field. He can try and carry this back. He's got to find an angle, though, and with the fight happening on the cart, he can't do so.
Yeah, no, that was the Shadow SM went to cart to kind of contest, but went a little too late, went a little too low HP, kind of just fell over and died. And
Look at
now, you have to kind of say,
look at him. Oh, he's behind! The sneaky sniper domes the Mercy in the back of her head, and he's trying to get away here. John Doe is hot in chase, but the best of Revive Esports is there to peel. John Doe now a little bit overextended, has to bubble to try and keep himself alive. He's hungry for that Widowmaker, however. Gets into the backline, the hack is there. Manages to connect onto Osmal and is punching Dan M around right now. Does manage to get that kill as well, so Dan M might have found an opening for his team. He's looking for Osmal, who has been res, and it does seem like that's going to work out. It worked in quick play. The trades are going both directions, but it does seem like eventually they're gonna win this one out.
I mean, there's still a possibility this could be Revive coming through with the fight win. It's still not over yet. Dan M kind of gonna, did somebody touch card here? If they can touch card, they can hold this.
Shadow SM is there. Knuckle does win out the Widow duel. Rather contested here in this round between those two Widowmakers, but Knuckle is going to have free reign of the point for now. Bomb comes out, it zones Revive out a little bit. Shadow SM pops that primal. He's just trying to get them off the card at the moment. He sees Knuckle in the backline, knows that the Widowmaker is the ultimate reason that his team is struggling so hard. He dives in, the bomb connects onto Bob Will, and despite a nice pick onto Knuckle, it's not really seeming like it worked in quick play. Can finish this one out right now.
Oh my, and Error gets a stagger onto Bald Eagle, who's so close to getting away, but very, oh wow, Knuckle's 1 HP.
He's done for. That's a stagger and a half right there. Minute 30 on the clock.
And now a minute 30 on the clock, and the EMP is available for both sides. But the question is, can you kind of follow up? Asmal, if he scouted out the fact that there is an EMP for Bald Eagle, could use a Transcendence. Bob will for same thing there. So it's Transcendence versus supports here, or sorry, it's EMP versus supports here, and Error trying to find that play, looking for it. Oh, when he finds the Zen.
Nice EMP, finds the Zen. That's it for that push. Easy follow-up for Revive Esports. Ananke does lose the mech. Knuckle connecting onto that one. But Knuckle, you've got to get away. What? Don't run in the room. Run to spawn.
It happens. It happens. Sometimes it just happens. Now, less than a minute remaining here. Bald Eagle still has that EMP. The EMP could be, again, we kind of highlighted this. The EMP is the difference maker. But you have to expect that Asmal will be hiding for the Transcendence.
Woof. Nice pick from Dan M. Forces out the res. Bald Eagle sees Osmal. He pelts at him, though. He doesn't go for the EMP. He just tries to draw their attention. John Doe now with a dive onto Osmal, but the peel is there from the rest of Revive. The Winstons trade primals and go for each other's backlines, but it's Shadow SM who has the more support, the more characters helping him out right now. Managed to connect onto Knuckle while Error picks up another. It's desperation for it worked in quick play here as they're trying to keep their hopes alive in the series, but overtime can't even be triggered. That'll be it. Revive Esports with a 3-1 to claim this win.
Yeah, very well done. Bald Eagle unfortunately dies with the EMP, and they never really get to use it. So it ends in frustration for it worked in quick play, but ultimately I think Revive Esports doing a very good job of zoning out at the last fight and making sure that they had full control of the match at the very end of it, because even though it was a 3-1, right, and it worked in quick play. It had moments of maps where they looked pretty strong.
They certainly did. You go back to Numbani, they looked rather dominant through the majority of that map, right? But they just couldn't connect onto it for the rest of the series.
Yeah, certainly. No, it was a very, very close match, and I think the scoreline really doesn't tell the tale of the full thing. So excellent work there from both these squads.
That is often how it is here in Overwatch, but we're gonna have more Overwatch coming to you. It's gonna be a quick break here, and then we are gonna have another series, so don't go anywhere.